You're listening to NGSC Sports Radio. Hear us live on ngscsports.com, where you can get awesome analysis for all things sport. Or check out our podcasts on iHeartRadio, Spreaker, iTunes, TuneIn, and much more. For our latest videos, head to NGSC Sports YouTube channel. Follow us on Twitter at NGSC Sports and like us on Facebook. NGSC Sports. We never stop.
Hey, this is Kevin Kelly, the voice of Ring of Honor Wrestling, and you are listening to 3 Count Thursday. You got it? 3 Count Thursday. Make it happen.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to a special Tuesday night edition of 3 Count Thursday, 2 Count Tuesday, if you will. Jim and Ryan here with you. Since this week is Thanksgiving week, we have no live show this coming Thursday, but we wanted to get some content out this week, and let's not beat around the bush. Let's get Ryan in here right away. Ryan, how you doing tonight, buddy?
Jim, I'm doing great. Man, so jacked up. A Tuesday show to Timeout Tuesday, 3 Count Tuesday, 2 Count Monday.
2 Count
Tuesday. 2 Count Tuesday.
Kicks out at 2. Tuesday.
Kicks out at 2.
Kicks out at 2.
Kicks out at 2. Hope you guys watched the Periscope video. Got a few watchers there. Kind of let the cat out of the bag that we're going live right now. NGSCsports.com. And it feels like the whole We Never Stop, I feel like that was made for us from this past week, starting yesterday, and then through next, probably the end of next week.
Yeah,
because I keep forgetting next week we have SmackDown as well. Like the taping.
Yeah, next Tuesday at this time we'll be in Hershey at SmackDown at the SmackDown tapings,
pitching about how bad of a show it was.
But man, this show sucks. Before we get to any of that, Ryan, you and I, we've talked about our journey to PBR podcast a little bit on Periscope or whatever. We'll talk about that a little bit more. But the whole time we've been doing this, we've been singing this song.
Oh, my God, the greatest song ever.
The greatest song. It is made by the Smart Mark Roommates, or at least we found it on their YouTube page, Smart Mark Roommates. This was published back in March of this year. Roman Reigns theme with lyrics. We're just going to give you a little bit of a sampling here of this great piece of music before we get to our content that we have tonight.
Roman Reigns, the guy with the biggest pecs. Roman Reigns, the guy who has lots of sex. Roman Reigns, the guy with the wettest hair. Roman Reigns, the guy who just doesn't care. Roman Reigns, the guy with a lot of class. Roman Reigns, the guy who will kick your ass. Roman Reigns, 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 the guy who is dressed in black. Roman Reigns, the guy who has got your back. Roman Reigns, the guy with a sweet goatee. Roman Reigns, a good friend to you and me. He will.
Okay, so that is probably one of the greatest songs this world has ever seen or heard.
Yeah, I'll openly admit I've now found a way to download the audio from that, and it's on my normal rotation that I listen to in my car driving.
Yeah, it's absolutely fantastic. So Ryan, let's get into it. Let everybody know. Well, let me let everybody know about our show. Of course, we are normally 3 Count Thursday. This week, 2 Count Tuesday.
But you can listen to it on Thursday.
You can listen to it on Thursday. You can listen to it every day. Go to ngscsports.com, find the Spreaker audio player, or go to the Spreaker homepage. search NGSC at the top. Go to iHeartRadio and the TuneIn Radio app, search NGSC. You'll find all of the shows from NGSC Sports Radio, including, of course, 3 Count Thursday. You can podcast our show directly, so whenever we do a show, it'll come right up into your podcast feed on iTunes, on Android, whatever. Just search 3 Count Thursday. You can find our social media, Twitter and Instagram. We are at 3 Count Thursday. Our guest from last week, Beatrice Priestley, she is our Woman of the Week this week. So make sure you check out that and like that page, Ryan. We have a couple of great guests coming up over the next couple of weeks. Let everybody know about those.
You got me taking a sip of beer. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Couple of nice cold Steve Weiser over there.
Yeah. Do they make Steve Weisers?
They probably should. Well, Stone Cold has his own beer now.
But it's not called Steve Weiser.
It is not called Steve Weiser. It is the El Segundo Brewing Company. It is the Broken Skull IPA.
Okay.
But not a Steve Weiser.
Yeah, I mean, you're a much bigger beer fan than I am.
I love beer.
You love the beer.
Could explain why I'm as fat as I am.
Right, I'm more of a mixed drink type of guy, a Captain Coke fan, if you will. Pretty simple, but tonight I just thought something cool would quench my thirst, so I opted with the beer. What do I tell you? You can find us at Facebook.com. No. Yeah, Facebook.com/3 Count Thursday, where you can find the information about our guests that we're having next week. I remember where we're at. We got TJ Mathis joining us next week on the 3rd. So a little bit longer than a week now, because we're obviously doing tonight on a Tuesday. We've got Kennedy Brink coming up December the 10th. December the 17th, we've got Maria Maniac joining us on the podcast. These guys are all going to be live with us on the podcast. If you guys have any questions about this, then we're going to throw it out there again. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all 3 Count Thursday.
Yeah, and then
questions, get with us. Let us know what you want to hear from these guys.
Yeah, and then in December, after the 17th, the next 2 weeks we'll be dealing with Christmas week and New Year's Eve week. Christmas Eve, New Year's Eve will both fall on Thursdays.
What are you doing for New Year's Eve?
Drinking Steve Weisers.
We should probably get drunk together and throw out a bunch of periscopes at least.
We probably should.
That would be a blast.
We have some time to figure that out. I mean,
yeah.
a month and a week.
Just throwing a feeler out.
But those 2 weeks, we will probably once again be live on Tuesdays, the Tuesdays of those weeks, because we will not be doing a Christmas Eve live show. We will not be doing a New Year's Eve live podcast. So just stay tuned, again, to our social media sites, Facebook.com/3 Count Thursday, Twitter at 3 Count Thursday. So we'll make sure we get the exact information out there, but do not plan on live shows Christmas Eve or New Year's Eve. But Ryan, this podcast tonight, this live cast tonight, really is the culmination of the last 30 hours. You and I have spent time on the road to New Jersey, back from New Jersey. We spent some time. We've been talking about it for weeks, going down to record an episode with the PBR podcast. Again, if you don't know who they are, visit pbrpodcast.com. Subscribe to their podcast by searching PBR Podcast. Check these guys out. Subscribe to them. They're on YouTube as well, PBR Podcast. Fantastic group of guys. I've had the opportunity to record 2 episodes with them. One that has somewhat gotten lost in the abyss, but this one will not be that case. This one will go to air sometime, probably in December, maybe January. They have some episodes in waiting before they get launched, but they release 1 episode a week. Again, fantastic people, a super entertaining show. Check them out. So we drove down to it was Ocean Township, New Jersey, just a little bit inland from Asbury Park, about a 10-minute drive inland from Asbury Park. So we took the drive down there and had the opportunity to record with them. A spectacular thing. We laughed. I mean, most of the episode. They do a lot of great stuff. Ryan, this was your first time meeting the crew and being involved with the crew. What was your experience?
I had a blast. I really did. I don't think Joe Rogan liked me too much.
Mike from PBR Podcast. When you go to the website, Mike's the one that does look like Joe Rogan, and Derek D is the one that looks like he should be in a boy band.
Right. I mean, we've joked about that, and we don't know what's going to be cut out of it. and I don't want to spoil anything.
No,
But we did some fantastic games on the show. I guess I'm really bad at impersonations, and I didn't think I would have to impersonate anybody. So I'm really upset with myself that my impersonation game is that far off. But to be fair, I don't think I had the easiest ones either. Like you the first one, Jim, you were like, brother.
Yeah.
Like that's an easy, everybody doing Hulk Hogan.
Mine were relatively easy. Yours were definitely much more challenging. Although I did have some challenging ones as well. So if you don't know, you don't know what we're talking about.
You don't have a clue.
And you want to find out what the hell we're talking about right now as it relates to us doing impersonations on the PBR podcast. Make sure you subscribe to them. Make sure you pay attention to us so that we can let you know when our episode airs. The best way to do it, though, help them out, help us out. You know, it'll keep the relationship between 3 Count Thursday and the PBR podcast as great as it can be. Is to subscribe to them, tell them that we sent you, and then you will hear our episode when it does air. That's it. That's the simple, easiest way. You can follow them on Twitter, follow them on Facebook. Again, they're a great crew, and we absolutely enjoyed it. We're going to work on getting them on a segment here with us at some point in the future, just so our audience can be further introduced to the PBR podcast crew.
Absolutely, yeah. And again, thanks so much to those guys for having us on. I really did have a blast. I don't want to get egg on my face or anything, but I have a feeling that I might get some eggs.
Yeah, you might get you might get some eggs, and again,
you'll find out.
You'll find out all about that stuff when you hear our episode and when you subscribe to them.
Right. Tell them we sent you.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, let's spam them a little bit. Tell them 3 Count Thursday sent you.
Yes. So go there.
What is their Facebook?
At facebook.com/PBR podcast. On Twitter, it's at PBR Pod. I believe it's just at PBR Pod. I don't think it's a PBR podcast. Let me double check that really quick. But any other thoughts from the last couple days, Rye?
No, not a ton of anything. Just some news that we have here. We can recap. I don't see anything written about it. Just to throw out there, today is former WWE diva, the Glamazon Beth Phoenix's birthday. So happy birthday!
Okay,
to Beth Phoenix, and also some breaking news. It got released maybe 8-ish hours ago today. Solomon Crowe, formerly known as Sami Callihan, has been released from his NXT contract. So Solomon Crowe out.
Yeah, we were
of NXT.
Yeah, we were on the drive home when we heard that. Ryan, do you think there's a possibility he's getting repackaged and they just pulled him from the page, so that they can do kind of a repackaged deal with him?
Now, from what I'm reading, I guess he got pulled from their official website. I'm seeing that it's later been confirmed that Crowe had been released.
Okay.
That he had requested and received his release from the WWE.
Oh, okay, so he requested the release. Well, hopefully he can pick up some indie bookings. He came in with a lot of with a lot of noise. He came in with a lot of thunder, and it never really panned out for him. So hopefully, I'm sure the guy will land on his feet. He did seem like a talented worker.
Right. I mean, he's wrestled in Dragon Gate, Evolve, Ring of Honor. Obviously, in CZW, he held the Ultraviolet Underground Championship, the Junior Heavyweight Championship in CZW. So maybe the WWE
wasn't ready for a stalker gimmick.
Wasn't
not a stalker,
a hardcore sort of ultraviolet.
What's the word I'm looking for? Not stalker.
The
hacker.
The hacker gimmick.
Not stalker. My bad.
Right. I don't know. I mean,
maybe it just didn't translate to the audience. I mean,
right.
It happens.
Right.
It happens. So
they definitely underutilized him.
Yeah.
They didn't know really what to do with him.
Sure. That, we can agree on that.
And I guess on his Twitter page yesterday, his last tweet that he had tweeted up was and the earth stood still, ... or something along those lines. That was yesterday, I guess, when he would have asked for the release or whatever.
Okay.
So that's the last thing that we see from his Twitter page. So looks to be true, but former NXT worker.
Well, again, we certainly wish him the best. I mean, it happens, guys.
It does.
we'll ask for their release. Guys will, things don't work out sometimes. But
he wasn't in a program.
No.
He just wasn't.
Yeah, it just wasn't.
It wasn't right. It just wasn't right.
Right.
At all. Right.
But back to the, I did double check it. It is at PBR Pod on Twitter. So follow them at Facebook.com/PBR Podcast. So make sure you go there. Make sure you tell them that 3 Count Thursday sent you, and that's the reason why you follow them. So that is that was our last couple days. Getting tired.
I'm not gonna lie, exciting trip home. First of all, I said about it on the Periscope before we sat out there. I had my first Wegmans experience, and I can't stop talking about it. It's so stupid.
I know. I came home and I told my wife about it.
And she been to a Wegmans?
She has, because she went to college.
What the hell? She's keeping it quiet.
Well, she went to college near Williamsport, which is apparently where they started. I didn't know.
Didn't know that. I'd be more pissed if she's your wife. I'm just a friend of you guys.
Well, I wasn't
and
pissed. It's not like she's been taking, weekend trips to Wegman and not taking me along.
Okay.
She went to college there.
So going out with the girlfriends, and she goes to Wegmans and doesn't take
I'd
you.
be pissed. I would be pissed if that's what happened. Ryan and I went into a Wegmans and
blew my mind.
Stood there for about five minutes just in awe.
That's an exaggeration.
Okay.
We literally did stand still. Like, we crested the door and stood still for 5 seconds. Like, if you imagine 2 fat guys in the middle of a giant, beautiful grocery store, like, and then we kind of came back.
Yeah.
And it was beautiful. They got 2 stories.
Yeah.
What grocery store needs a second story? Oh, so good. Such a beautiful place. That's the one down here in Ocean.
Yeah, in Ocean Township, New Jersey.
New Jersey.
They're building one in our area near Lancaster, PA.
2 more years.
It's going to be sometime in 2017. Well, we're almost in 2016, so
all right, yeah.
Maybe a year and a half. That time will fly by, Ryan.
Roman Reigns.
The best song ever. Again, what was it? It's Smart Mark Roommates or something.
Yeah, something like that. But yeah, definitely. Thank you for that. It's been up since March. I just stumbled upon it on Facebook.
There was somebody posted on Facebook and we shared it to our site, but we
both shared it actually.
Yeah, we both shared it because I didn't pay attention to the fact that you actually shared it.
We're not always attached at the hip. We have
separate lives.
Right.
Sometimes we're not going to this weekend again with LCW coming up, but let's. Any more thoughts from the last couple of days, Ryan, before we rewind it a little further and go back to the Survivor Series?
No, just a fun weekend. Full of wrestling, and then the podcast was a nice change to be on the other side of the mic, if that makes any sense. But not actually running the show, just be the guest of the show. And I did. I had a blast with those guys. They are fantastic, and Jim, I can't wait for you to get them up here to record a show with us. That'd be a blast.
Yeah, it will be, and we will definitely work on that sometime in the near future.
And they're not. They both claim to be wrestling fans at one time in their life.
Yeah.
So we're definitely going to have like a guess the theme.
Yeah, we can figure out some games.
And maybe we can come up with some new superstars, like a Fandango that none of them know about, and make them guess their superstar name.
Sure.
You're not a fan. What would you call this guy?
We can play some games with them. We'll
Sexy
figure it out.
Salsa Man or something like that. It'll be fun. We'll think of something fun to do with those guys.
We certainly will. Let's go back to Survivor Series, though. This past Sunday, of course, Survivor Series pay-per-view. The 25th anniversary to the day, we found out, of The Undertaker's debut, so that was pretty cool. And we'll talk about The Undertaker when we get to that match on the card. The pre-show match, which we didn't even know there was one when we did our show last week, but it was the Cosmic Wasteland, The Miz, and Bo Dallas. How's that even work? Oh, yes, Cosmic Wasteland, Stardust, Connor, and Victor, The Miz and Bo Dallas were defeated by the Dudley Boys, Neville, Titus O'Neil, and the returning Goldust.
The Miz is awful.
Here's my problem. Why did they have Goldust return on the pre-show? Why didn't they just have him return on Raw? If you're not going to have him return on the pay-per-view, the actual pay-per-view, not the pre-show, why not just have him return on Raw?
Right.
Right. I'm happy he's back. I like Goldust, and I'm sure he'll have a nice little run here before. I mean, he's we've talked about not young by any means, but I'm happy to see him back. Just
who's not young?
Goldust.
He's not young at all.
That's what I said.
Oh yeah.
That's what I said.
I mean, he's got to be close to retirement.
Yeah, I mean, like
at least give him the right.
At least return him on the pay-per-view
right.
or on Raw. Like
right.
what? Like who? There's not a lot of
again,
people that watch the pre-show.
I'd like to see numbers for that. Who's actually tuning in for the pre-show?
Yeah, I would like to see actual.
I mean, I'm interested in knowing that.
I would like to know.
And what are the ways to watch the pre-show? Like,
I know you can watch it on YouTube.
Can you still watch it on YouTube?
You can watch it on YouTube. Watch it on the network.
All right, so the numbers are probably inflated a bit with the free. I knew it was free.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, YouTube, the network. I'm pretty sure maybe like Hulu or something. I'm like, I think there's a couple other ways to watch it than just the network. So I'm sure there are eyes tuning in, but I mean, you could watch the remember back in the day, you could watch the free for all.
Right, the free for all.
But like,
wasn't it Heat then? They did Sunday Night Heat.
They did do Sunday Night Heat then, but I mean, we go way back. It was free for all.
Free for all. Right.
Then you could watch Heat, and that was just on USA or whatever.
It was on MTV, I think, wasn't
it? Or TNN or
what was that? I don't have to take a look.
I thought it was just on their normal broadcasting network, but you can take a look on that. But other, I don't like that he returned on the pre-show, but I'm happy to see him back. Let's get into the actual card though. The show opened up with Roman Reigns defeating Alberto Del Rio, 14 minutes and 1 second. We all correctly guessed this one. Again, there was no surprise to it that Roman Reigns won the match. Really, Ryan,
who won the match?
Roman Reigns. The
match of the night. Honestly was. No doubt.
And we'll break down the show and we'll give our grade for the show, but really this match, it started off strong. It was the second longest match of the night, and third longest match of the night. The 5-on-5 traditional elimination tag team match was longer, and then the Divas Championship match was 14 seconds longer.
That was the longest single match.
Yes. Again, match of the night. The two guys brought it. They worked well together. I mean, there's not a lot else I can say about it. I thoroughly enjoyed this match from both competitors.
I was surprised at how good the match was because they can't have a ton of history wrestling each other.
No, I wouldn't think.
Like, their feud is green. I mean, even if you want to call it a feud, that they can't have that much chemistry with one another from having previous matches. But absolutely the match of the night. Tore it down.
Yeah.
Good way to start the show.
Yeah, started strong. Second match was strong. Dean Ambrose defeated Kevin Owens, 11 minutes, 19 seconds. You had this one predicted wrong. Matt and I both predicted Ambrose to win this one.
Who's counting?
But to me, this was the second best match of the night. So you're it's great that they started strong. That's a positive. Before we turn and get negative, because it's going to turn and get negative. But it started strong. That's how, in my opinion, every pay-per-view should start, because you grab the attention of the viewer. Two great matches. So then you had Reigns and Ambrose to and Ryan, I know you picked Owens, but were you surprised that
no, not at all surprised.
that Ambrose and Reigns ended up in the finals?
No, I think my Kevin Owens pick was more of a hope pick than a smart pick.
Kind of like when every month when you're like, Nikki Bella's going to lose. Nikki Bella's going to lose.
Right.
That was your hope.
My hope, but I knew in my heart of hearts that wasn't going to happen.
Okay.
And I guess I thought it out when I was thinking it out that because I did predict a Sheamus cash in at the end of the night.
You did.
That it would hurt Roman Reigns so much for Reigns to be victorious and then lose that soon in his first reign that they could have done it with somebody like Kevin Owens when he still has the IC title and be like, I still have my belt.
Yeah.
That it wouldn't have hurt as bad as it hurt Roman Reigns. And the outcry on Facebook and Twitter was enormous.
Sure.
I haven't seen that many people supporting, and we'll get to that later. We'll get to that at the end of the.
Chase is listening in, Ryan.
Hi, Chase.
He did say that Heat was primarily on MTV. He looked it up.
It was. I looked it up too.
Okay.
Thank you, Chase. We were both right. It was on USA,
but it was primarily.
It was also on Spike there for a little bit.
It was primarily. And then
they webcasted it
on. Okay. So,
well, thank you, Chase, for keeping us honest.
We do appreciate that.
And by the way, Jim was the one that got me off of Notre Dame. It wasn't Seamus that swerved me off of Notre Dame. It was being a friend of Jim for my entire life, and him ramming ND down my throat that turned me off of Notre Dame. The tweet he sent out earlier.
The third match was the traditional Survivor Series 5-on-5 elimination tag. We just kind of threw shots in the dark of who was going to be in this one. So when I counted our wins and losses on predictions, I didn't count this one.
Okay, that's fine.
Now, the actual competitors were Ryback, Usos, and Lucha Dragons defeating the New Day, Sheamus, and King Barrett.
I mean, I think the idea was still faces versus heels.
Well,
and we picked it
that
always
way. Was,
right.
Yes, absolutely. Matt correctly predicted the Usos, Ryback, and New Day in the match. You correctly predicted Usos, Ryback, and Bad News Barrett in the match. I accurately predicted Ryback and then the entire heel team, New Day, Sheamus, and Barrett.
You know what? I give the nod to you then.
So
predicting an entire team.
If I was counting this, if we were counting this, you and I basically said that I would get the point because I had the one whole team, but I just didn't count because we didn't know who was going to be in it. And
I guess my thought was I didn't put Sheamus in it, did I?
No,
because he was going to cash in, and if you look at it, I mean, Sheamus ate a shell shock and was the last man.
Neither you or Matt had put Sheamus.
So I think that was our thought with that.
Well, yeah.
I left New Day out because I thought maybe they could have inserted a tag match either on the pre-show, and I think if you listen back, it's what I said, a tag team title match, pre-show that against the Dudleys or something like that, and that's why I left the Dudleys out of the equation.
I mean, and we were all somewhat correct because we all had predicted that the face team would win, and they did. You and I had predicted that Cesaro was going to be the sole survivor. Matt just had predicted the entire team. He didn't go in any length of who was going to be eliminated.
You see what we did by predicting Cesaro?
Yeah, we apparently cursed him.
Sorry,
because Cesaro out. Although he has been hurt for a couple of months, so we can't take fault for the actual injury. But we unfortunately found out that Cesaro is going to be out about 4 to 6 months with a shoulder injury. So we obviously wish him the best. He had surgery already to repair that. If you look at 4 to 6 months, 4 months, if we're going from now would be December, January, February, March, the end of March. So I guess there's a possibility if he everything goes perfect and then rehabs well, he could. It'd be very close, but could return at WrestleMania. It's going to be, I would think, maybe the next month, which is what Extreme Rules, Payback,
TLC.
No.
Table, ladder, chairs.
No.
Oh, not what this.
The month after WrestleMania.
I don't know. Fastlane's before it. That was the worst pay-per-view ever.
I think Payback is after. But yes, Ryan, next month, you're correct, is TLC.
See, I'm still with it over here.
Kind of.
Here's the deal. I feel like I'm double dipping a little bit. I'm trying to fact check us as we go. Matt obviously not with us tonight.
Silly Ryan.
And I'm trying.
We don't need facts here.
We don't know.
There's no place for that sort of thing here.
He'd aired on the WB.
Facts. Cesaro, possibility could return at WrestleMania. And just going to throw this out there because there's a lot of people out in the Twitter world that believe that Seth Rollins is going to make some sort of miracle return at WrestleMania. It is not going to happen. He blew out ACL, MCL, and meniscus.
Okay.
If he tore any one of those, he could maybe return. He tore all three. So when they say 6 to 9 months, plan on 9. That's kind of how I'm going about it.
Sure.
Plan for the 9. Don't plan on seeing Rollins. My guess would be like Survivor Series. So
It's Extreme Rules after Mania.
okay, Extreme Rules.
I think it used to be, when it used to be Hell in a Cell or Elimination Chamber. I forget how they did it.
I forget. They changed it so many times that it's hard for me to remember exactly the order. But
No, Elimination Chamber was before Fastlane replaced Chamber. That's what it was.
okay,
See,
that's what it was. To me, this but to the match, it was a 5-on-5 elimination tag.
It's what it was. Yeah.
The best thing to come out of it was Xavier Woods' hair.
So good.
And if you don't know what we're talking about, look it up. I'm not going to try and describe it. Hit pause, unless you're listening to it live, and then just
Listen to it live. Just
Google
pull up
it.
your network
Just
and
Google it.
pull it up real quick.
Almost
as good as Kofi's hair on Raw yesterday.
You're saying Kofi's was better.
I love the unicorn.
I think Xavier Woods' was better, but Kofi's was like 1A.
Okay.
Either way, you can't go wrong
I
with
can't
the New
wait
Day.
to talk about that from Raw. It was about the only good thing from Raw.
Yeah.
Was the celebration. We saw Heath Slater, too. That was pretty cool.
Saw Heath Slater
He's still alive.
for a second. Let's go to the next match, though. The Divas Championship match. Charlotte versus Paige. Actually, this was the longest singles match of the night at 14 minutes, 15 seconds. Charlotte gets the win by submission. And I expected so much more.
Yeah. This match was rough. This was a tough match to watch.
The 5-on-5 elimination tag, it started to go downhill on me. But this match had the opportunity to build it back up. And it didn't.
No, this was a tough match to watch. It seemed spotty.
Here's the thing,
Seemed
dude.
botchy a
Like
bit.
after what happened on Monday, and I know they made a calculated effort to not bring that up in the promo video. Well done, WWE. But when there was so much heat between them, you would think that they would. You would think that they would start like fast, like Paige was in the ring. Charlotte would just come in and
On
start
fire.
Yeah, just pissed off at the world. She just came in doing her little cartwheels and splits. And
I was more pissed off. Right. It was her normal entrance. Like, she should have just beelined in the ring and just started beating Paige's ass.
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
it just
Like, here's the
it
deal. Like,
started slow. It was botchy. It was bad.
yeah, they just don't seem comfortable with each other, which is strange.
Yeah,
Like I've gone back and I've watched Charlotte in NXT, and it blows my mind how good she is. And I can't think of a main roster spot where she's had yet where she was even close.
no. I mean,
To the matches
it
she put
reminds
on in
me of like
NXT.
early Charlotte in NXT, because there was
Right.
a point where she was really bad. And I'm not trying to be a jerk, but
Why are you
like
being a jerk?
she was really bad because I remember like was it the match she had versus Natty was that the first network special
Was that at Arrival with Brett
with Brett in
and
one
Rick
corner,
in the
Flair
other
in the
corner?
other.
Okay.
Like I remember going into that thinking, oh God, really? Why are they pushing Charlotte so hard?
What a great match!
And that
ended
match
up
was
being.
incredible.
We told a great story, and that's the thing too. Like, they're not telling stories, it seems, anymore. Like, it's just not good right now.
No, it's not. It really isn't. And she like, but
I'm sorry to be that way, but you're right.
it wasn't good.
That was that NXT
expected-
takeover we were talking
Okay,
about.
yeah, like I expected so much more because we've seen both of these women put on great matches. And I don't know if it's because of the incident that we talked about last week. Like I don't know if there was just more focus on them because of it and they just couldn't handle it or what. But it was awkward from the beginning and it didn't get better. A bad match. a bad match, and it really, it was really the beginning of the downhill slope that was the rest of this show.
Well, coming out of the match, we've then realized that the Tyler Breeze Dolph Ziggler match is going to be their throwaway match of the night, probably bumping between the Brothers of Destruction and the championship match, which didn't happen.
Right, because I thought, okay, so Taker, the Brothers of Destruction versus the Wyatts will be next. Tyler Breeze versus Ziggler will be the bathroom break match, and then you'll have the close. Well, then you hear Breeze's music hit, and it's like, so the biggest spectacle of the night is the bathroom break match.
Well, the entrance, at least, to the biggest spectacle.
Well, I mean, theoretically, the biggest spectacle.
Right, I know what you mean.
That was they were building everything toward that. The poster, the promos for the last couple weeks.
Right, the 25.
Right. Before we get to that, 6 minutes and 40 seconds.
Nothing to even talk about.
Tyler Breeze.
I thought we were done with it
Dolph Ziggler
already.
Good to see Breeze get the win.
Has he been underwhelming or what since he got called up?
It's such a shame. Oh, we all predicted Charlotte. We were all right on Charlotte.
Woo! Figure eight, probably the best submission I've ever seen. I love it.
It's fantastic. We all predicted Breeze, but yeah, it's been an underwhelming debut.
Is Chase still with us?
Chase is still with us.
Chase, what's your thoughts about Breeze? Has he been that underwhelming?
Yeah, let us know. Let us know, Chase, what your thoughts are on Tyler Breeze.
Long time listener. Thanks for tuning in again, Chase.
Yeah, we certainly appreciate it. We appreciate everybody that listens to our show. Our numbers are strong as they've ever been.
Strong like Roman Reigns. You have it? Play it again. Let's play it again.
I don't have the video up again. I
Jim,
closed the video.
You've upset me.
I'm sorry. I am sorry.
I will sit and protest like a monk until you pull it back up.
Okay, well let me work on getting the video back up here. But no, his debut has been very disappointing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't love the fact that they put Summer Breeze with him. I really don't.
Summer Breeze. That would be a great name.
Oh my God, it's Summer Rae. Holy shit.
Summer Breeze.
I can't believe I just did that. It is Summer Breeze. Oh my God.
That is perfect.
That is it right there.
I don't mind Summer Rae being with him.
I just don't think she brings anything to help him.
But she doesn't necessarily hurt him either. Like, I mean, I get maybe she doesn't help him.
Okay, right.
But she doesn't necessarily hurt him. Chase says he loves Breeze, severely underrated, not used very well on the main roster.
I thought he was underrated in NXT. I didn't think they used him great in NXT. They never really put him in a solid program there.
When he lost all the time.
Well, he did. He lost. He was NXT's Dolph Ziggler. So to throw him up into
throw him
NXT,
with Dolph Ziggler.
You're right, on the main roster with Dolph Ziggler, that's what you're going to get. Just that feeling that it just wasn't great.
Yeah, I mean, he's always put on, like, every time he wrestles one of these matches on a special event, it's been a memorable match.
Right, he can go. He's a performer. I agree with you.
It just it has been underwhelming. I don't want to say that he's not used very well, because he's only been there for a couple of weeks. So it's still it's too early to kind of judge their use of him.
I just don't think he's made a big impact.
He has not. But not every guy that comes up from NXT is going to make a huge impact right away. Like, we can't expect him to make, like, the Kevin Owens impact. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, Neville has had wow matches.
Yeah.
When he came up. I mean, even when the Dudley Boys returned, it was like that wow moment. It just didn't pop the way I don't think anybody thought it was going to.
Yeah.
Let's talk about The Undertaker.
Okay.
We spent too much time on a match that was probably the worst of the night.
Sure.
25 years. Undertaker.
25 years.
Man.
The entrance was awesome.
Fantastic.
On both sides. I mean, the Wyatts are the Wyatts.
They are.
And you're never going to go wrong with a Wyatt entrance. But then you had Kane's music hit. He comes down, and does the does the arms, the fire, lights. Or no, he stood there, and then the gongs started to hit.
Right.
And then Kane lit the fires. It lit the Undertaker symbols and the flaming towers. And then, of course, the music hit. Undertaker starts coming out, and there's actually what I thought it was just on the screen at first, but when you go back and look at it, it was a giant coffin suspended in front of the screen with a Titantron in front of or inside of it, with all the different looks of the Undertaker over his career.
Really? See, I thought that was just part of the screen.
No.
I'll have to go back and
watch it because you can see him walk under it. And you can actually tell that it is a giant casket.
Okay.
That is in front of the screen.
I didn't know that.
With a screen inside of it. And I love that they incorporated Kane. I know I saw a couple people that said they wish they would have incorporated Paul Bearer somehow into it.
What would they have done?
I don't know. Just had his.
I hate to be that way. Like he's dead.
Had the oh yes, something
recorded. Would that even be the same? Why don't you have Brother Love bring him out then?
That's what I was just about to say. Like,
how did that ever come about?
I don't know.
Like, am I missing something? Like, I know he was part of the $1 Million Man's team, but how the hell did Brother Love? Who in the back was like, we've got this dead man, kind of mortuary sort of thing, works at a funeral home. He's going to carry his opponents out in body bags. We got Brother Love here. Sounds like a good idea. Just a match made in heaven. Like, how'd that ever come about? Do you know?
I am not sure on that.
If anybody listening and knows us, let us know, because that's part of my history that I don't know. Let us know that. I would like to find that out.
But I mean, it was a great entrance, and then unfortunately the match started. And it wasn't a terrible match, but
the match is what I thought it was going to be. I mean, they're getting a bit older.
Unfortunately, I mean, it was like we all picked the Wyatts because we wanted them to win. They didn't, and this is what bothers me. I don't care that The Undertaker won. I don't care that Undertaker and Kane won. That doesn't bother me. Kane and The Undertaker probably should have won on the 25th anniversary to the day of his debut. The part where I have the problem is, once again, a legend winning comes at the expense of a superstar or superstars on the rise. And once again, you have Bray Wyatt and or the Wyatt family pick a fight with a huge name, and then they lose. We've said this time and time and time again. The Bray Wyatt has been booked to fail, to be a failure. You call him the new face of fear. You come out with multiple shirts, new face of fear. All this new face of fear. For months he's telling us the new face of fear. Who's he scaring? Who's he scaring, Ryan?
I think to be able to scare people and to be taken seriously, you have to win big matches.
Right.
You have to.
Lost to Cena at WrestleMania. He calls out The Undertaker, carries a feud for 2 months on his own.
Loses at Mania.
It's a
big spot. That's a big spot to lose it.
He cost Roman Reigns the Money in the Bank ladder match. Loses. Ultimately loses that. Calls out The Undertaker again. Loses.
Oh, man.
Like, people keep telling me, like, oh, he can recover from this. He can recover from this. At some point, he can't.
How?
Look at how people react to Bray Wyatt. When Bray Wyatt loses, or when Bray Wyatt's cutting a promo to start a new feud. Watch how people react to it. Watch what people say about it. because perception at some point becomes reality. And the perception of Bray Wyatt and the Wyatt family is it doesn't matter. It's becoming, if it's not already, when he calls somebody out, he's going to lose.
Right, he's 0-2 at WrestleMania.
I'd love to know his actual pay-per-view win-loss record.
That'd be fun to find out. Yeah, that would be.
Like, I mean, it
Jim, I get you. You have to win the big match. He doesn't have to be a champion. We've said that numerous times. A championship belt
but honestly,
doesn't necessarily fit into his wheelhouse.
Now, is that the only way to salvage him, though? Like, Bray, I mean,
I get that there's some respect handed to you losing to The Undertaker. The rub of facing The Undertaker in big spots will carry you a bit. Like, that'll make you, you know what I mean? That'll help. But the losses just has to stop. Has to. And here's the deal. If you're not going to put them over, again, I think we all thought it out too much. Like, there was no way the WWE was going to let Undertaker lose his 25th anniversary match to the day.
Well, I mean, they weren't going to let The Undertaker lose 2 matches in a row at WrestleMania, but it still didn't change the fact that if you book him with Bray Wyatt in that spot, he should have.
Right, because you're booking him against Bray Wyatt. Right, that's the problem.
I mean, like, should Mark Henry, and not to get ahead of ourselves to Raw, but should Mark Henry have lost to Neville? If you just look at the two of them, he probably shouldn't have lost to him, but he lost to him. Maybe it was a botch. But at the end of the match, he shook his hand.
Right.
And gave him a pat. Like, this is me giving this guy.
Someone's going to get their hand shook.
But you know what I mean? Like, at some point, you gotta give the guy the rub. So if The Undertaker, if he's not going to lose this match, don't book him against the Wyatts here. That's the part that bothers me.
Is it okay if Bray Wyatt didn't wrestle in that match?
No.
Or is that still a throwaway?
No.
If you had Strowman and Rowan or
No.
Harper and Strowman.
No. If you're booking them against the Wyatts in any fashion.
Bray had to wrestle in that match.
Well, it's not even necessarily that Bray had to wrestle the match. The Wyatt family had to win.
Okay. All right. No, that's fair. I agree with you. They had to have
because ultimately Bray orchestrated it. He chose who fought. They should still win.
Will it be okay if Taker puts over Bray Wyatt next year at WrestleMania? Is that the only way to salvage Bray Wyatt? It has to be against Undertaker, and Bray Wyatt has to go over cleanly.
No, because then theoretically, he's still 1-2.
But he's the one then that officially retired Bray Wyatt.
I mean, if he retires
Bray Wyatt retiring,
if he retires the Undertaker. But to me, Ryan, and not to get too far ahead of ourselves, but the only match of the Undertaker. Forget about Sting. Everybody needs to let the Sting thing go. The Undertaker and Kane should wrestle against each other at WrestleMania this year, and it should be both of their last matches.
Okay.
Because those two characters, whether they are together or fighting, they are eternally connected.
Okay.
They are brothers. That is the story. And the Undertaker should defeat Kane, and then that's it for both of them. That's the way I would do it. I don't know if Kane is ready to retire. Hell, I don't know if the Undertaker's ready to retire.
Right.
But if 32 is it,
call it right now. What's the Undertaker's match going to be at WrestleMania? Not what you hope it, or what? Not what you hope. Not what it should be. What do you think it will be?
Cena.
Okay.
And it sucks because then at that point, Cena's probably going to win, and it'll probably be. And if I don't know if that'll be Taker's last match, but Cena would probably win that, and it's a shame because Cena wins. LOL. But Ryan,
What about like a
what do you think?
Triple H? Do you think a Triple H spot?
That thing's done.
That's done.
What do you think? What do you think will be Taker's match?
Damn it! I hate to say it. If it's not Bray Wyatt, it's going to be John Cena.
Okay,
that's who I have. I mean, there's nobody else that I could think.
No.
And I hate to. I'm not trying to toot John Cena's horn because God knows it doesn't have to happen and have to elevate him.
It gets tooted enough.
But who else would make sense in a big spot like that?
I mean,
Rollins isn't going to be there.
Lesnar's
Lesnar's done it.
Like, that's done. Like, I don't see. Yeah, I don't see it.
If Daniel Bryan could return, it doesn't make sense. Wouldn't do him any good. Randy Orton, nobody wants to see it. And I'm just trying to think of your A tier.
I don't know if Orton will be back.
I don't think he'll be back. Your A tier level.
There's a lot of
talent.
injuries right now.
I don't think Sting's going to be healthy.
No, I don't think so.
I think
either.
Triple H will wrestle at WrestleMania.
We thought it was going to be Triple H versus Rollins. Yeah, I don't know if they foreshadowed Triple H versus Reigns this past Monday, or if they're going to be able to convince The Rock and the movie studio The Rock's working with to let him wrestle. But I think Triple H will certainly wrestle.
Yeah, I do too. I think he has to.
At this
with
point.
the talent he has on the shelf right now, he has to suit up.
Well, and I think to get 100,000, I think you need to have some classic names to get the eyes on.
Sure.
It. Ryan,
so you don't think they're gonna? It's impossible for them to pull a rabbit out of the hat.
I don't think it's impossible, but I don't. Sitting here tonight, I don't.
Is Shawn Michaels wrestling?
I think
see him wrestling Mania.
I can guarantee you his phone has rang.
Austin?
I guarantee. I say.
Would you like to see a Shawn Michaels Undertaker match at WrestleMania 32?
No, that needs to be done too. The
way it ended was beautiful. I'd hate to see it get ruined.
Yeah, if you try and put those guys together,
people would
ruin,
talk.
It would get people to talk, but it would ruin what those other great matches were.
That moment with the three of them up on the top of the stage.
Yeah,
that whole. You're right.
Can't be Michaels.
Can't be Triple H.
I would say the odds, in my opinion, are better that you see Austin wrestle as opposed to Shawn Michaels.
Okay.
Because like Shawn Michaels has pretty much always said, like, I'm done. It's kind of fun to come back and super kick people every now and again, but he's kind of out of the wrestling limelight. Stone Cold, I mean, he has the podcasts and goes out of his way to tell people that he's never coming back. Like any interview he does, I'm not coming back. And almost is like, okay, we get it, dude. You're, quote, not coming back, end quote.
Right. He makes a point to say it.
Like, if you like broke your mom's favorite coffee mug, and like your mom comes home and or like wakes up and like is looking for a coffee mug. I haven't seen your coffee mug, Ma. I didn't ask you. I didn't see it though. I just want you to know.
Right.
Like I came in, I had cereal,
and when I did see it last,
and when I saw it last, it was certainly
whole.
not broken.
Right.
But I haven't seen it in a while. Like it screams that you saw it and you broke it.
That sounds like a confession.
I didn't break a coffee mug.
Not today or
Recently.
anything, but I would think that there is a time that if your mom ever listens back to this, James, that son of a bitch. I knew it.
That son of a B.
I knew it.
That son of a B. That S of a B. But Ryan,
how about this? How about Undertaker versus Roman Reigns?
No. If Reigns isn't going for or defending the WWE Championship at WrestleMania,
I think he is. He's going to be in that situation.
Okay.
I think he wins the Rumble. Roman Reigns wins the Rumble.
I think he does too. But if he is not wrestling for or defending the World Heavyweight Championship, I think Reigns will be taking on Triple H.
Okay.
But I'm with you. I think he wins the Rumble. I think he takes on whoever the champion is.
Who are we talking about?
Roman Reigns. Oh, who are we talking about, Ryan? Who are we talking about?
Roman Reigns, the guy with the biggest pecs. Roman.
I love it. I really do.
The guy who has lots of sex. Roman Reigns, the guy
so
with
good.
the wettest hair. Roman
And he does have the wettest hair.
Reigns,
He's the wettest.
The guy who just doesn't care. Roman.
It's like he bobs for apples before he comes out.
Roman.
A lot of class.
Reigns, the guy who will kick your ass.
I love it. Oh, so good. It's going to be my ringtone. I'm going to find a way to get on my phone. It's going to ringtone it.
It is
everybody
really,
that calls.
Smart Mark Roommates is the guys on YouTube.
Where has that been all my life?
That
best thing about Roman Reigns right there. He's getting better, yeah, but that video right there.
That video it does make it better. Ryan,
that video put Roman Reigns over
for us. Ryan, everybody knows that we work for local indie companies and do a lot of stuff, and we saw people that we know like engage in discussions about the fact that they never like got the Undertaker gimmick. They thought it was like stupid, but they are older than us. I mean, like I'd say at least 10 years. 10, 15 years
probably, yeah.
or more older than us.
Sure.
So like it got me thinking like you know, for us, I don't know that I've really met anybody that is in our age group, so like 30, I'd say like 35 and under, that goes the Undertaker it was stupid.
I don't think you can go 35 and under necessarily, because people I think that broke in at the end of the Attitude Era, the beginning of the what the hell was after the Aggression Era? Is that what they were calling it?
Aggression Era?
I don't know. When Taker was the biker gimmick, was it 2 or 3 years when he was the American Badass?
Okay.
And if you got into wrestling then and you see the Undertaker as this bike riding badass, and then he comes back as the Dead Man, you might get a little lost there and be like, I don't really, because I've seen people say that. I hope he comes out on a motorcycle.
Yeah, I've seen that.
I mean, he's kind of doing parts of it, like at the top of the ramp with the whole fist thing. I think that started as part of the American Badass.
Yeah, that was American Badass.
So he's incorporating bits and pieces of his whole career.
Let's put it this way then. Like if you were around when like the Dead Man Undertaker,
right,
or the Ministry Undertaker, like if you were around then, I've never seen somebody that thought it was dumb. So is it just like a generational divide? Because like when you have people that are 15, 20 years older than us or more. Like, you know, when they got into wrestling, it was a guy in tights wrestled a guy in tights.
Okay, right.
Like for us, like when we started watching, you know, it was like anywhere between like 89, 91. Like this is the stuff that we saw, and like you and I were talking about when we were watching the pay-per-view, and even as we were going down to PBR yesterday and even coming back today, like you go back and you watch like some of those 25 years of Undertaker moments, like the one where he put the Ultimate Warrior in the casket and they sealed the casket and the guys come out and they can't get the casket open, and Savage and Piper and McMahon are on commentary and they're getting more and more like panicked in their voice, like, help this guy, it's been 3 minutes without air. It's been 4 minutes without air. He's been in there for over 5 minutes without air. And you open it, and the top of the casket's ripped off because he was trying to claw his way out. And then he's not breathing, and they're giving him CPR, and he's convulsing. That was real. And like when he kidnapped Stephanie McMahon and had her on the cross, and then had Stone Cold Steve Austin on the cross, like. The Ministry of Darkness stuff was dark. It was unsettling to watch. It's unsettling to go back and watch it now.
Yeah, not PG. That's
like
for damn sure.
For us, that was serious. Like I look at, and I'm not discrediting the talent of, you know, early Ric Flairs and Buddy Rogerses and Bruno Sammartinos, but I can't sit and watch an hour of that. I can't sit and watch 2 hours of that consecutively.
I mean, here's my take on that, I guess. You can look at it, and it's kind of where the WWE is currently. If you look at some of these, you know, early 80s, when you had, you know, your names, and I'm sure I'm eliminating people here to make my argument, but when you have somebody like Paul Orndorff and Bob Orton, he was just the cowboy Bob Orton, but it was a pretty simple gimmick. Tito Santana, Ricky Steamboat, I don't think was doing the full-blown dragon thing at that time. Even Adrian Adonis, you know, it was kind of a weird gimmick. It wasn't full-blown gimmick at the very beginning. Who am I thinking? Nikolai Volkov. Like, his gimmick was just he's Russian.
Right.
You know, now you have people like John Cena and Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan and Randy Orton, you know, that are not gimmicky. Like, The Undertaker's a job.
Right.
You know, much like the Repo Man in that gimmick-filled time frame. And Nails. And
right.
the Mountie. Like they were job gimmicks.
Was it cartoony? Sure.
Like, should it have lasted
our,
25 years?
Like,
really?
Were our parents probably rolling their eyes? Absolutely.
I absolutely believe that. 100%.
There's stuff now, like, that we've talked about, that there's things now that are obviously, like, geared towards kids that we're like, this is really dumb. But, you know, you there's points where they hit the nostalgia in you, where they connect to you. So I think The Undertaker, there's a generational divide. And for for people 20 years older than us, they just don't get it. They were too old to get it. Because, like, watching that thing with the Ultimate Warrior, I actually watched it today when I got home, because I was just catching up on a lot of stuff I missed on the network.
Right.
Like, you can blatantly see that, like, they're barely tapping the like,
right, and they're
chisel.
not putting any torque on the crowbar.
Like, no torque on the crowbar. They're, like, barely hitting the chisel but at 10 years old or whatever I was, 7 years old, 8 years old when that happened, terrifying.
Right.
I mean, I'd be terrified to be the Ultimate Warrior in that spot, to be inside of a casket for 5 minutes.
That would freak me out.
I'm sure they were. I mean, obviously they were, like, pumping air or something in there
for sure.
But, like, I mean, that to me, that my 30-year-old brain is like, oh, I'm claustrophobic. I'd freaking die if I was in there. I literally would die. I'm like, as I would die of a heart attack or something.
Right.
But obviously, like, they.
But look back at that time frame. Let's talk about that time frame. Not much longer after that, you had, Kona Crush. Would that have lasted 25 years? Doink the Clown.
No, and
would that have lasted longer than it lasted? I mean, today, could we be as excited to see Doink the Clown come out? Even the gimmicks that have evolved and kind of stayed the same, though. Hulk Hogan. Could Hulk Hogan have still been doing the real American Hulk Hogan today if he wasn't, like, a full-blown racist and did all that crazy stupid shit?
Not without the NWO.
Not without the NWO and his Hollywood turn. Like, we would have gotten
even Bret Hart morphed. Jake the Snake morphed.
I mean, to say the Undertaker did morph. I mean, he did evolve a bit.
Right. The gimmicks, the characters that survived were the ones that changed. The ones that evolved when it had to.
But he stayed relevant, like, the entire 25 years.
Yeah.
By the way, Doink the Clown, I just pulled up Doink the Clown. Dink the Clown was the little midget clown that he had with him.
Doink and Dink, yep.
His midget's name was Claude Giroux.
Like the guy from the Flyers?
Yeah. When I clicked on Dink the Clown, I was like, oh, whatever. I'd see if he was still alive. Guy's still alive, but his name was Claude Giroux.
Claude
He's
Giroux.
a Canadian-born midget wrestler. Yeah. The more you know.
I need that sound bite.
There it was.
The NBC, the more you know. So, but I the Undertaker's legacy. There's it's the Undertaker. For us, it will always be something great and something special. Chase says he would have been happy with 25 years of the Repo Man and a few other guys like that.
Chase said, why doesn't this? How about 25 years of the Patriot, Chase?
He just said that as well.
And I'm not on I'm not on Twitter. I'm on Facebook. And
this was on the Spreaker chat. I mean, but nobody has been with just the WWE for that long.
Right. That's
what is special about The Undertaker.
The only other person that could have thought that should have stayed in and probably would have stayed if offers were right would have been Bret Hart.
Right. I mean, technically Michaels did once he landed in WWE, but he spent a lot of time hurt. I mean, The Undertaker would take a couple of breaks, but it'd only be a couple months at a time.
But The Undertaker never lost his smile.
The Undertaker, did he ever have a smile?
No.
But yeah, why it's disappointing. Let's get the last, I guess technically 2 matches. This guy.
Roman Reigns, the guy who is dressed in black.
Roman Reigns.
I never knew his theme song had words.
I never did either.
Chase, did you ever hear this song? Is he still with us?
He is still with us, as far as I know. I don't know if he ever heard this song.
That's the greatest song ever.
But
He should have. It was on the Facebook page about a week ago.
Certainly. Certainly. Roman Reigns defeated Dean Ambrose 9 minutes and 2 seconds, crowning Roman Reigns for the first time ever as the WWE World Heavyweight Champion in a match that was just really Chase hadn't seen that before. But it was a match that just
honest to God, let me just say it. The match stunk up the entire tournament. It really did. And I don't know how Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose doesn't have decent chemistry with each other, but you hit him with a Superman punch and a spear and he kicks out. I believe Dean Ambrose hit him with the Dirty Deeds and he kicked out. And then a half-ass spear, seemingly really out of nowhere, in a spot that didn't look like the match should finished the match.
Yeah. And it just happened so quick. I mean, 9 minutes.
Yeah, that's
the crowning of this entire tournament was a 9-minute match.
Right.
The 2 earlier matches were 14 minutes and 11 minutes.
I mean, you can account for the guy with. By the way, I guess Dean Ambrose doesn't keep an extra wife beater hanging around.
No, he left it in the hotel in New Jersey.
Damn, yeah, that's what we get for being in New Jersey. Sorry.
It's just the whole thing. The culmination of this was very underwhelming. I think the pyro blast when Roman Reigns won lasted longer than the match.
It's funny that you bring that up. I think you're right.
Definitely the confetti shower.
I feel like Vince McMahon was just backstage, just like, my guy won.
Got it. Just had like his finger got like in an arthritic lock on the button.
He couldn't drive home. His fingers were just.
And they finally pried it off with the crowbar from the casket.
The WWE has obviously been cutting back on pyro in the past few years.
Yes,
they blew their budget for the 5-minute reign
and the only people that get it are Brock Lesnar, the Dudley Boys. Like it's all the old
Neville
guys.
gets a little.
Neville gets a little. But the majority of pyro is used on
the no
old
flame
guys.
Pyro pop.
And
Kane, that's about it.
Yeah. The Usos don't even get theirs anymore.
Don't they? I didn't even notice that.
I don't think.
I'll have to watch.
I zone out when they do that.
I do too.
And no disrespect. It's just I'm over it.
Right.
But then
I'm going to tell Rikishi you said that this Saturday.
Please don't.
LCW.
I don't want to stink face. Please don't. But then after the match, and we knew something was going to happen because the thing ended at like 10:32 or 10:35 or something like that. So it's like, well, we know something's happening.
That or this is another December to Dismember.
Or I know there was a King of the Ring. I want to say 99, 2000, something like that. That ended at like 10:26.
Oh.
And like I remember I was watching it with my brother and a couple of his buddies, and I was in like 8th grade, and I was like, "We just got gypped, dude." Like,
yeah,
like what? Like you couldn't even do it till like 10:45. I didn't cut it 15 minutes early, but 34 minutes early. Triple H comes out, goes to shake Roman Reigns' hand, gets speared. Then Sheamus comes out, hits the brogue kick, cashes in, which took way too long. Charles Robinson, I think, threw his shoulder out of socket trying to get the guy to ring the bell. Finally, they rang the bell. Covers him, 1-2, kick out. They got up. I think Reigns went for a Superman punch or something, got dodged, hit another brogue kick, and won. So a 5-minute what did JBL say? 5-minute, 15-second reign?
Actual reign, yeah.
For Roman Reigns, and a 34-second cash-in match. Sheamus is your new champion. And that's how Survivor Series went off the air.
It just, I don't know.
I don't have anything else to say about these matches. I'm just say overall, just in the interest of time, like
it was not a very good pay-per-view.
The pay-per-view started out so good, and it just dive bombed.
Yeah, I wasn't thrilled about it. I mean,
like I'm Mr. Sunshine when it comes to WWE.
Usually are.
Like, give them the benefit of the doubt, and look on the this match you may have thought sucked, but. Maybe
when your best match opens the show and you don't really come close. I mean, the Ambrose Owens match was okay; it was a good match. But when your best match opens the show and you really, don't come close with anything else, and then Sheamus is the one that walks away, your world heavyweight champion.
Like, I'm just gonna get straight to it, dude. Like, my grade for this show.
I give it a 6-.
A 6-?
Yeah, a D-, a 6-.
I'm gonna give it like a D+. Because
you were a little bit more sunshine than I am.
I'm a little bit more sunshine, but
sure.
this thing is pretty much as close to failure as you can get for me.
Okay. No, it's been tough.
Like Ziggler's match was sloppy. The main event match.
If this was called Fastlane, I'd have expected it.
Right, like when you make such a big deal out of your bigger pay-per-views, like
right. But is Survivor Series a big pay-per-view anymore? It's one of the originals,
it should
sure.
Be, but it should be. Make it important.
The Rumble's only important because of the Battle Royal. And then it's just WrestleMania and SummerSlam are the only ones that they really care about anymore.
Chase enjoyed it. Chase enjoyed Survivor Series, and there are.
I enjoyed it. I'm a wrestling fan. I enjoyed it.
There are plenty of people that.
There are plenty of things that.
Oh, Ryan, he's gonna make you mad. He enjoyed Fastlane too. He loved it. He loved Fastlane.
No, what is there like about Fastlane?
He loves February pay-per-views.
No,
I think they should get rid of him.
Just build everything on Raw and SmackDown.
That's your way to there shouldn't be a relevant. February pay-per-view.
Fastlane.
It should go from Royal Rumble to WrestleMania.
If somebody offered me a free Fastlane event seat, I mean, I would take it. Yeah, I'd take it.
Don't even try and
shut up. I would take it for sure. But I wouldn't proudly.
You know what's going to happen? We've been on this. WWE needs to give Hershey a Raw, and we'd love to get a pay-per-view. Now I know
what was our pay-per-view we had last? 2003.
Unforgiven in 2003.
It was Unforgiven.
You know what's going to happen is
that was a Raw pay-per-view, so it was a good pay-per-view.
It was a good pay-per-view.
That was on the brand split because No Mercy that year was SmackDown before. Yeah,
you know what's going to happen because they already have I think up through the middle of next year pay-per-views booked. I
think they only have 2 WrestleMania booked.
Okay, but you know what's going to happen is the pay-per-view we're going to get is Fastlane 2017.
I hate it. I hate it.
You know you'll go
for saying it. I absolutely will.
It's going to happen.
God,
we're going to get Fastlane in 2017. But yeah, this pay-per-view, man, was a D+. It was a stinker. For me, it was a stinker. It really was.
Chase, are you going to Fastlane next year? I think it's in Ohio, isn't it?
I think he is.
Yeah, I'm sure it's in Ohio. I heard about that.
Because he was at...
Where's it at?
He was at Money in the Bank.
The Quicken Loans Arena, yeah, Cleveland, Ohio.
Yeah, I believe he's going to it. Quickly, Ryan, let's go to Raw. We caught up. We didn't watch it. We didn't watch every segment, but we caught the main points. You had the celebration of Sheamus winning to start the show. I enjoyed both Divas matches. You had Sasha versus Becky Lynch, and you had the rematch Paige versus Charlotte. Paige versus Charlotte on Monday Night Raw was so much better than
what it was
on the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
And Sasha Banks get the win. Little heel tactics there. I like the stuff with the Divas, and
yeah, it's always a good thing on Raw when Diva matches hit commercial breaks, that they're given time. It's just a good thing of where we're going with the Divas division. And
then I enjoyed the New Day. What was it?
The country music.
The country music jamboree. Fantastic.
Open challenge thing. Well, I have to find out what it was actually called. Let me look that up. That was fun. But that was great. That was good.
Otherwise, yawn.
Yeah, it was Raw.
How sad is that? It was Raw. It felt like a SmackDown. It felt like a 3-hour SmackDown.
We had Heath Slater on Raw.
Yeah.
In a throwaway segment. And hopefully the Alberto Del Rio Jack Swagger thing goes a little somewhere for Jack Swagger. I think the guy still has some talent.
Yeah, no, I am intrigued by Del Rio versus Swagger. Even the Mex America thing started to fall flat. Like I wish they would just let Del Rio be on his own. I love Zeb, but I don't like the pairing.
I don't mind it.
Ratings though, Ryan. Yeah. Not
drop
good.
The numbers. Did it drop under 3 million?
It averaged 2.964.
Oh my gosh.
It was the first time that it was less than 3 million since it went to 3 hours in July 2012.
Wow. That's not good.
Yeah. It's bad.
Yeah, it's not good at all.
Like, I think some of the ratings dropping in recent months it can be attributed to Monday Night Football. You're in the dead zone for WWE. It always goes down this time of year.
But we say that
I know, but
in the middle of summer.
Wait.
When people are outside playing.
Wait. Just wait.
Time the breaks.
Just wait. And I think part of it is from, like from last year to this year, I think a lot of people are cutting the cord. A lot of people are, watching on Hulu the next day, like on demand, streaming it. But you can't say that all of it is that.
You've been saying that for a while though. I mean now.
Right, but they're always comparing it to this time last year.
Right.
So from last year to this year, I think you can say that some of it is people cutting the cord.
Oh yes. Yes.
But it's not all that. I mean, when you're sitting here and
DVR is not a new thing.
But more and more people are getting it though. Like my mom has it now.
Right.
My mom's never had it.
I mean, Hulu's been around for more than a year or two, right? I mean,
right, but even when we were talking to the PBR guys, like,
right, I get
they both
changing.
said like, only recently have they, have they gotten rid of cable, gotten rid of satellite. Like, people more and more are just getting tired of paying the ridiculous cost. And if it wasn't for watching live sports, I wouldn't have
watch anything
satellite
live.
Because I watch everything. I except for sports and Raw, I watch everything on DVR.
Is that our problem though? Like, is that as the consumer of the product that it's no longer important to talk about? Like water cooler conversation the next day. Like, remember that was the thing. Like you had to go home and hey, did you watch the finale of Friends? You had to watch it live because you knew everybody was going to talk about it.
Right.
Now everybody gets butthurt when somebody talks about it for not posting the word spoiler in front of it.
It's just the world we live in.
All right.
Like I don't, you know
Fair
what I
or
mean?
not, you're right. It is what it is.
Yeah, I think it is just the world we live in, and right or wrong, good or bad, I think that's just the case. Is we live in a world where everything's an on-demand world because we do everything. You do so much stuff over a phone and tablets and computers. You don't necessarily have to watch everything live, but you have to be, like for something like a series finale of a show, you should. It's gotten to the point where you should like respect the DVR.
No.
Yes.
F that. If it's not important enough to watch it when everybody else is watching screw you.
No.
Screw you.
No.
Absolutely.
No.
I'm going to pose my damn thoughts, and I'm not going to put the word spoiler in front of it.
You should respect the DVR. That is the world we live in.
Nope, absolutely not. I'm going to take a hard stance on that. I smell a Twitter poll.
Okay, but Ryan, prime example. Say now I know that there's not anything new and breaking on Thanksgiving Day, but your work schedule
Let's take a prime example.
Your schedule is
I work
different.
retail.
Your
I've openly
schedule's
said
different
that.
this week.
My schedule's different all the time. I've missed WWE pay-per-views.
No. But
so I stay off Twitter and I stay off Facebook, and I come home and I watch the show, and then I hop back on and join the conversation. But it's my duty to hop off Facebook and hop off Twitter and close the notifications from my WWE app so to not spoil anything. That falls on me. There's a live event that falls on me to not watch. Absolutely does.
Okay.
You can't treat it any other way. You can't treat the finale of a sitcom, let's say, to a live sport.
Okay.
You missed the Dallas game this week, you had said, but you did see the scores.
Yeah.
Are you going to go back and watch it?
I went back Sunday evening and just watched some of the offensive highlights. I was curious to see how Romo was going to look, coming back from injury and how the offense would look. So I certainly did not watch the whole game.
Okay.
But I watched the moments I wanted to see. So yeah, I guess you're right.
I guess
you're right. I'll
my
retract what.
Let's throw it on
there.
the Twitter poll.
I'm going to forget to make it.
Yeah, we will.
It's freaking 12:30.
Twitter polls are great, though. I
love the Twitter polls.
Thank you, Twitter, for that.
But it's bad, man. Like I don't know what WWE has to do, and they're kind of in a bad spot right now because you don't have like that marquee. Like I feel like you just don't have that marquee.
I think you hit the nail on the head, though. What WWE they have to do something. They have to give you content that you have to watch. It was during the Attitude Era, and I know we liken it a lot to that. You had to watch it because people were going to talk about it the next day.
Yeah.
You have to give us a reason to want to sit down and watch it.
Yeah,
even more so now that they have all these other options to still consume it by.
Sure.
That's my take on it. They have to do something. I don't know what they have to do. Something needs done.
Ryan, let's...
you got to bring up ZZ. He hurt himself today, actually.
Want to get bit
it was
by a
announced
gator?
Today that he was recently injured at the Performance Center, and he's probably out 6 weeks. And again, it's from a dirt sheet. The incident was described as a case of miscommunication.
If that's any other person, he's fired.
Right, but most blame was put on him for not paying attention. There's definitely a feeling that he does not have a very bright future in the WWE. Like, does the WWE not know people were voting for him out of spite? Like, it was clearly a joke, and that's the reason he was voted in so long. Like, we know he sucks. Does the WWE not know it was a joke?
Right. Like, they clearly didn't get the memo.
Or are they just trolling us? Oh, you guys wanted to vote him? Here he is.
I mean, Triple H has done that on Raw.
Right. Great Raw moment, actually, when he dropped that. What did he say? Something along the lines of his feeling or something like that, and some people thought I would bury it.
Oh, yeah.
Or something along those lines.
Yeah, he could have said, like, I brushed them off,
Right,
or
he said-
I put them to the side. He said buried.
Bury it.
And I almost died. I think that was hilarious. But Ryan, let's get to LCW.
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about LCW this coming weekend. Lancaster Championship Wrestling from the Lancaster Host Resort in tourist-heavy area of Lancaster, Pennsylvania, right down on the Lincoln Highway, Route 30, down by Dutch Wonderland and the outlets, in what will be a busy weekend for that area, between the outlets, between your Target store there.
Shopping, man.
There's going to be plenty of shopping, plenty of people down there. So if you're anywhere around the area, you have a couple extra days. As we're recording this live, it is Wednesday morning, 12:32 a.m. We started recording Tuesday night. So you have a couple of extra days than you normally do. If you're going to be anywhere near the central Pennsylvania area,
Drop the wife off at the outlets. Come hang out with us at the Host.
Get an allowance from her because she's going to be carrying the plastic.
Right. Just take some cash. That's all you need.
Take some cash.
We want you guys to follow along when we're talking about this. Facebook.com/Lancaster Championship Wrestling, LCW-Pro.com.
Yes. Tickets are still available. You can get them at LCW-Pro.com or by dialing 717-847-0301. Again, 717-847-0301. The card for this weekend is absolutely loaded.
Stacked.
Special guests this month. We have
Did you say guests?
guests, not guest, guests.
With an S.
Yes.
Okay, let's hear 'em.
Before the show, there's a autograph session, early entry into the building with Mick Foley, which I believe there are still a few tickets left for. This is a separate purchase on top of your ticket to get you in for this. This is a VIP thing. Get you in the door, meet and greet, and autograph with Mick Foley. Then Nikolai Volkov will be there signing autographs.
Okay.
We also
Good
have
guess. That's not bad. Good.
we also have Matt Cross,
We're keep going more. Wow.
who is Son of Havoc in TNA, or Lucha Underground.
Right.
Was also on a season of Tough Enough.
Tough enough.
Then we have the first ever reuniting of the Head Shrinkers.
Samu and Fatu.
Samu and Fatu. Also,
Okay.
Fatu also Rikishi, WWE Hall of Famer.
Hall of Famer.
They will be teaming up with Samu's son, the grandson of Head Shrinker, or of the Wild Samoan Afa, Lance Anoa'i. But the Head Shrinkers will be there. We still have more, Ryan.
So, wow. Keep going.
Ring of Honor's Moose will be there. Those are your special guests. Now, we've talked about one match.
I think you're missing some former
I am.
superstars.
You are right. Carlito.
I'm going to tell him you forgot him, and I hope he spits an apple in your face.
Not
dude.
tell him that.
'Cause that's not cool.
I do not want to get. I do not want to get apple spit in my face.
I will make sure, because we do help with the ring attending.
Damn it.
That you ring attend there, and I hope to God he spits the apple in your face.
Ah, crap. This is my penalty for laughing at the Dixon Line security messing with you the other month, isn't it?
Jackass.
Damn it.
Yeah.
Carlito, Moose, the Head Shrinkers, Matt Cross, Nikolai Volkov, Mick Foley.
Rikishi.
Well, Rikishi is in the
Okay.
Head Shrinkers, but yes, Rikishi.
And former ECW champion, the franchise Shane Douglas, also there.
Which he's a LCW
Often.
regular, or
Sure.
often is there.
It's worth saying.
It is worth saying. But all of these guys are worth saying. Shane Strickland of Lucha Underground and CZW and
former 3 Count Thursday guest.
Former 3 Count Thursday guest. Let's go to the matches, okay?
We got to try to get Moose on the show.
We should try and get
I'm going to
Moose
throw
on.
that out there right now. We have to try that.
We'll try and get Moose
I know
on
he
the show.
follows us on the Instagram.
He does.
At 3 Count Thursday.
He loves our Women of the Week.
Who doesn't?
Everybody loves it. But let's talk about the matches, Ryan. Let's look at the matches that you will see. Card subject to change. Just remember that.
Always
Subject to change.
It's a
That's
live
not
pro
an
wrestling
LCW thing. That's a wrestling.
It's a damn wrestling thing.
The currently vacant LCW Tag Team Championships will be decided. The MOB will be taking on That 80s team. So two teams that we see on a regular basis.
We're seeing new tag team champions.
New tag team champions
Saturday
crowned.
night.
And the tag belts kind of went through like a rough patch there where like everybody that won them, somebody got hurt or the team disbanded.
Right.
These two teams have been together a while.
Yep.
So I
Saturday
think,
night.
One of these two teams, MOB versus That 80s team,
Tag team history being made.
will be made. Then you have a 6-man tag team match. The recently reunited Shatter and Sinister X, who were Damage Inc., correct?
Correct.
They are teaming with Twisted Tate, and they'll be taking on untouchable Kevin Murphy and his two. He's got 2 guys up his sleeve. We don't know who. We don't know who he's bringing to the
got the
Lancaster
money.
Host Resort, but
Who's he gonna buy?
he's the richest man in professional wrestling.
And this feud's been boiling over.
It's been it's
We've seen it in LCW. It boiled over
boiled
at
over to PWE.
PWE, the Pro Wrestling Empire. Back here at LCW now. The guys just don't like each other.
They do not like each other, man. And
it's exciting to see what's going to happen
it's
here.
I don't know if the building's going to be able to contain it.
Sure.
It's a big building. It's a big room, but man, it's going to be tough.
Again, make sure you're following along with us. Facebook.com/Lancaster Championship Wrestling. LCW-Pro.com. 717-847-0301 for tickets.
Yes, if you visit LCW-Pro.com, you go to their shop. You can get new T-shirts. They got T-shirts on there. They have DVDs now.
Last month's DVDs dropping.
Yeah, they a great video put together. I forget the name of the film company, but great work by them. So you can buy a DVD of last month's show. Again, LCW-Pro.com, 717-847-0301
Put by
tickets. Cinnabite, yes, thank you.
Yep, great video.
Matt Cross, the guest, Matt Cross, will be taking on Shane Strickland in a match that is worth the $12 general admission ticket.
Worth twice that.
Or $15, I think, at the door.
Worth twice that.
Kids 12 and under for free. It's worth 1,000 times the cost of a 12-year-old kid.
Sure is.
Kid there. Free.
Free.
I mean,
what's free anymore?
LCW tickets for kids 12 and under.
There it is.
We have Louis G. Rich, Havoc, and Stevie Shields taking on the Head Shrinkers. Again, the reunited for the first time Head Shrinkers, Samu and Fatu, and Samu's son, Lance Anoa'i, rising star. This guy's spectacular. He really is. This match is going to be fun. Good to see the Head Shrinkers, man.
That's awesome.
I always
really
liked
is.
them. I always liked them.
Heading into the Survivor Series, I was going back and watching some old Survivor Series, and one of them had the Head Shrinkers on. I was like, so cool. I didn't even know it. Just kind of stumbled on it. It was really cool.
Yeah, very cool. I remember their feud with the Steiner brothers around WrestleMania 9. Was very good. Then you got Moose, Ring of Honor's Moose, taking on Andrew Backlund. I think Backlund's in trouble. I'm not gonna make my prediction because we do that Saturday at the pre-show. For those that didn't know, on top of this podcast, we do a live pre-show 6:30 p.m.
If you didn't know, you weren't paying attention.
Half an hour before bell time at LCW. You, me, and Matt, we host a live pre-show right there in the Lancaster Host Resort Expo Center.
Just posted the video we were talking about from Cinebite, the official 2015 November show commercial. Posted it to the Facebook page, facebook.com/3CountThursday.
So check that out.
It's
Go
up
to
there- it's up there right now.
lcw-pro.com and buy a DVD.
Do it.
Buy a T-shirt. If you're going to be in the area, buy a ticket to the dang show.
They got some new T-shirts from the Mid-Penn Wrestling Alliance. Shut up and support indie wrestling.
Can't say it any better
Can't
myself.
say it any better. They're going to be on sale this Saturday at
Punisher
LCW.
Martinez is taking on Tim Donst.
Tim effing Donst.
Tim effing Donst. If you have, we're going to work on getting him on the show. But if you haven't seen the documentary on YouTube on Tim Donst, check it out. I'm not going to say anything more.
Right, just check it out.
Check
we'll
it
put
out.
that on our Facebook page too.
We'll
drop it again tomorrow.
It
sometime.
is spectacular. Axel Lennox and BJ Walker taking on Richie Nightmare and DK Abel. All four of these guys had altercations with each other at last month's show, last month's LCW weekend.
It was exciting to see Walker and Richie Nightmare tearing at each other. Two guys that are going to be fighting for the Friday night belts, for the Friday Night Fight Championship.
That coming up in December,
in the future here, so they're going to get a taste of each other now.
Carlito.
He spits in James's face.
You,
if you think I'm kidding, Jim,
I
not.
know you're not kidding.
Look, I bullshit a lot. I am not joking about this.
I know you're not.
So, Carlito, we host a podcast. We're the guys from the pre-show.
You should probably have a business card ready to hand him.
He's not going to want to talk to us after I tell him you've dissed him on the show. So we run down all of our special guests, and he's like, Carlito's not a special guest.
That's not what I said.
That's almost what you said.
That's not what I said.
And he's going to be like, who is this? And I'm going to it's like Big Jim. And he goes, well, I spit in the face of people who don't want to be cool. And I'll be like, Carlito, I have this apple right here for you. I'll stop at the Amish farm market on my way in beautiful Lancaster, Pennsylvania, to make sure I have a fresh apple. And I will point him out to you.
Point me out to him, you mean?
Whatever. Yeah, you know what he looks like.
I know what he looks like. He doesn't know what I look like.
So he's taking on Eddie Smooth.
He is taking on Eddie Smooth. A little bit of intrigue on this one because the chairman of Lancaster Championship Wrestling, Chance Tucker.
Happy birthday! Just celebrated a birthday.
Yes, he did. Jason, the Perfect Owner Smith,
former owner of LCW.
Former owner of LCW, also celebrating a birthday the same day as the guy who beat him to eliminate him from LCW, to take him out of power. Chance Tucker and Jason, the Perfect Owner Smith, share a birthday. I know the Perfect Owner is not happy about that. But chairman of the board, Chance Tucker, offered
the match to Eddie Smooth.
Offered the match to Eddie Smooth.
With a stipulation.
With a stipulation that he has to leave Hollywood's finest.
Right, led by Kevin Murphy.
And he accepted the match.
We'll see, man.
He accepted the match. So
We'll
we will
see.
see. We will see if he if Eddie Smooth has something up his sleeve. I don't know. I don't know if he does, but there's intrigue here. There's intrigue in this one. What do you think? You think that he's got, if it's just straight up?
I'm intrigued to what apple I'm going to buy. I'm still stuck on that.
You're stuck on the apple,
Yeah,
huh?
I got Granny Smith's, Gala's, Fuji's, Macintosh.
Then you got the
What's your favorite apple? Apple pie.
I'm not going to
probably.
tell you because then
it's
you're gonna
apple pie. I know what your favorite apple is.
Well, it is apple pie. But I'm not going to tell you what my favorite apple is because then you'll have to buy something different.
Okay.
Because you're going to be if you're being a jerk about it.
All right, that's fine. I'm the ass. Yeah, I'll take it.
You got to get all assy about it.
Live up to that all the time, I guess.
And you got the franchise Shane Douglas. He'll be taking on QT Marshall.
Awesome match. Awesome match.
This will be a strong one. This one, maybe we'll take the kids over to the concession area during this match. This one's not going to be for the faint of heart. And then the final match of the night, or the final match I have written down here. I don't know if it's going to be the final match of the night, but Sean Carr taking on Joseph Von Schmidt, Sean Carr, number 1 on the championship ranking. He's the number 1 contender for the LCW champion, held by Joseph Von Schmidt, the German Hammer. So, right there, Ryan, that is, what is that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 matches for $15 at the door, $12.
Man,
you can't beat that.
sounds like a deal.
You can't beat that.
Cannot.
Kids
Can't
12
beat
and
it at
under
all.
for free. Kids 12 and under for free.
Free, you say? Black Friday weekend and something's given away for free.
Something given away for free. And
Oh,
you don't even have to be the first in line.
Yeah, that's
You don't have to wait in line forever.
You don't have to give up your Thanksgiving dinner.
And then
with
you
family.
find out when you get to the front of the line that they sold out.
There's there's only limited things. You
Well,
have to get there early.
Right. The kids
You have to
12
get to
and under
LCW
free.
early too. 'Cause we're doing our pre-show.
LCW-pro.com.
It's the
Pre-show
only way to guarantee yourself a meet and greet with Mick Foley.
hosted, which you have to buy separate tickets for that.
Right. You can find it all out at the Facebook page, facebook.com/Lancaster Championship Wrestling.
Or
LCW-pro.com. You can get your tickets online at LCW-pro.com.
Or by calling
717
847
0301.
0301.
0301. Huge card, man.
Huge.
Cannot
Huge.
wait to get there.
It's going to be a spectacular weekend.
Action packed.
It's actually the thing that's a bummer to me right now, Ryan, is that we're doing this podcast Tuesday, Wednesday.
I know. I feel like it's
So like
Thursday
tomorrow we're not
already.
going to wake
Right.
up and it's not going to be Friday.
Right.
So we have to wait longer than normal to get to LCW. Which
Yeah.
sucks, but it will be worth the wait. This is going to be a huge weekend. This might be the biggest show that LCW has ever had.
Man, it could be.
This could be the best show that LCW has ever had.
It really could be. No
which
doubt.
is awesome.
Huge.
Awesome. And I'm thankful, as always, each and every month to be a part of that team.
Right. And again, just a reminder about Mick Foley. We'll be signing autographs and doing his meet and greet with the fans on Saturday from around 5 to 7-ish.
Yes.
Tickets to meet him will be extremely limited and short-stocked. Highly recommended that you pre-order your tickets at lcw-pro.com to guarantee your chance to meet the hardcore legend himself. Bang, bang. Mick Foley. Right there at the Lancaster Host Resort.
It's going to be awesome. But yeah, dude, we say it every month.
And he's a genuinely good guy, too. We met Mick
He
Foley
is. We did
before.
meet him in Harrisburg.
Real nice guy.
But I want to reiterate, man, how thankful I am and that we are. I mean, I speak for
No,
you.
that's fine. Let's get Thanksgiving-ish.
Speak for Matt. It's Thanksgiving week. I really want to reiterate how thankful we are to be a part of LCW. You know, we've admitted many times that we were late to the bus on independent wrestling,
Right.
in
Shame on
this
us.
area. But we are so thankful that we work for LCW.
Yeah, we're still less than a year in with this.
Yeah, we're so thankful.
Like, we'll admit we're green.
Yeah,
Sure.
we're green.
I mean, we've only podcasted for a little over a year now.
Yeah, well,
A
it's
three count
closer. It's
Thursday.
closer to 2
The
years.
3 Count Thursday brand has only been around for about a year. Year and a half.
I'll say it's closer to 2 years than it is to a year now.
WrestleMania will be 2 years, right?
Yes.
WrestleMania 32 would mark 2 years. Okay, so we're pushing 2 years.
Yeah, we're pushing 2 years. But sincerely am thankful to be a part of and working for LCW. Other companies that we've around and we've done stuff for, they're great too. I'm not trying to slight them out. But being that this is an LCW weekend, this is an LCW week, I really want to drive that home that we love what we do. We love everybody there. It has been one of the coolest experiences in my life, really.
Absolutely. And
I look forward every month to LCW. I look forward this show. It seemed like every couple of days there was another guest added.
Yeah.
And I couldn't believe it. I'm like, really? Like,
they're not done yet?
Who knows? Maybe there'll be another one in the next couple of days. We don't know. But it truly is going to be a special night. It is going to be a spectacular night. And I
want to jump in real quick with the thank you as well. Like I am very, very appreciative, and I thank from truly the bottom of my heart everybody at LCW, the whole Mid-Penn Wrestling Alliance family for welcoming us, and allowing us to grow with you as professional wrestling in the central Pennsylvania region grows. Thank you very, very much. And we fully support the idea of shut up and support indie wrestling. Late to the show, like we said, but I can't tell you the amount of people that we have brought to shows and have said the same thing, like, wow, this was great. Great time, great action, great superstars, great. If you haven't been to an indie show, we say this, I feel like every week, and you don't know what's around you, message us. Send us a message on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram. Let us know where you're at. We'll do the work for you and find an indie show around you. Can't say it's going to be as good or as professional as a production like LCW puts on. But if you like professional wrestling, you're owed it to yourself to check out indie wrestling.
Yes.
So message us, let us know. We'll do the hard work for you. Again, we always talk about LCW. Once a month, we go over their cards. They got DVDs now for sale, lcw-pro.com. Click on the shop. You can get shirts. They have some old programs laying around still. DVDs from their past shows, I think starting with last month's show.
Mm-hmm.
This month's show will be a DVD that you have to pick up.
Yes.
You're going to have to do it.
And you brought up the Mid-Penn Wrestling Alliance, and we'll talk about it more next week. But on Saturday, December 5th, the Mid-Penn Wrestling Alliance Hall of Fame inductions. If you go to, I believe it's, let me look up the site quick. But
it's facebook.com/mid-penn-wrestling-alliance. And then I believe it's one more dash after the word alliance.
Okay, I got to pull up the website though, because I think
the website's there. You can get tickets there. I will link the page to our Facebook page.
It's just midpennwrestlingalliance.com. You can find out about all the inductions. But they are having special guests. Lex Luger and Nikita Koloff
nice
are going to be there. Bill Apter is being inducted.
He's also the MC, correct?
I believe.
Yeah, I think so.
Mark Yeaton is being inducted.
Legendary WWE timekeeper.
And then lots of great talent from the central Pennsylvania area, including Shatter, who will be at LCW this weekend.
Right.
Rob Noxious, Mark Mest, Jeff Gripley, Dr. Johnny Wildside and Nurse Feelgood, and the Rockin' Rebel.
Nice.
Are your 2015 inductees.
Great inaugural class.
To the Mid-Penn Wrestling Alliance Hall of Fame. It is the inaugural Hall of Fame dinner. Again, midpennwrestlingalliance.com, and you can purchase your tickets there. It is going to be a spectacular night. There's going to be a dinner and question and answer session with Lex Luger and Nikita Koloff. That is from hours 5 to 7. A meet and greet with all the inductees and guests from 6 to 7. The induction ceremony is going to go from 7 till 10. And then starting at 10 o'clock, live music from the band Slim Six and a wrestling show featuring some of the future local talent in this area.
Sign me up.
You got to get there. Again, this is at the Lancaster Host Resort, the Mid-Penn Wrestling Alliance, the inaugural Hall of Fame dinner, $65, but it is by and large worth at least twice that.
Easy.
So again, midpennwrestlingalliance.com for tickets to that spectacular event coming up Saturday, December the 5th. This weekend, of course, is LCW, Saturday, November the 28th. Ryan, we're closing in on 1 a.m. We've had a whirlwind couple of days.
And we're still going strong. Look at us.
Do you have anything else this week from professional wrestling?
No, I think we covered the birthday. We got that at the beginning of the show, right? Shoot, what else do we have, man? The release of Solomon Crow, we covered that.
Release Solomon Crow.
Can always find us on Facebook, facebook.com/3CountThursday.
Correct.
Twitter and Instagram at 3CountThursday.
Ding.
Again, a real great, truthful shout out to the guys from the PBR podcast. I absolutely had a blast. I didn't know what I was in store for.
Oh, it was spectacular.
It was a very, very good time. Thank you, Jim, again, for the invite to go down. Thank you to them for having us down as 3 Count Thursday.
Yeah, Mike, Derek, the producer, Frankie, just a spectacular time. Again, we will.
Dennis, the intern. Yell for that guy. Just nobody.
Dennis. Don't want to yell too loud. Wake my wife up. She'll come down here.
She'd be pissed.
Hit me.
She'd spit an apple in your face.
But yes, a great experience with the PBR podcast. Again, we will let you know when our episode will air. But the easiest way to not miss it is subscribe to them on YouTube and on your podcast store.
Right,
by searching PBR podcast. So check that out. Again, check us out. Ryan, what is your Twitter handle?
It's is at RYN Eagle at RYNEAGLE.
You can follow our stat guy Matt. He was not with us tonight. It was kind of a last minute thing, but you can follow him at the number 3CT A Philly PHILLY and then number 8. So at 3CT A Philly 8. I am at Big Jim Sports. Again, we are at 3 Count Thursday. Facebook.com/3 Count Thursday. And Twitter and Instagram are at 3 Count Thursday.
You got a fresh load of shirts as well.
Fresh load of shirts.
Message us
if you're
on
interested
any of the social
media. You can message us on those. You can also email us 3countthursday@gmail.com.
$15.
$15. If you're going to be in the area, we'll have them for sale at LCW.
Screw it. $50. Even though I have to ship it to you, I'm going to cover the shipping for the first 2 orders.
Ryan's going to cover shipping for the first 2 orders, so email us.
So it's $15 flat. That's all we need.
15 flat.
I'll pay the shipping.
Ryan will pay the shipping on the first 2 orders.
Let's get them moving.
And otherwise, you have to pay for shipping. But first 2 orders.
Shipping's like $5, whatever.
It'll be on the house.
Like
but yeah, $15 for the shirt.
Yep.
Again, you can always get us on iTunes. You can subscribe to our show on iTunes and on Android by searching 3 Count Thursday in your podcast store. You can also check out our show and all the shows on ngscsports.com, where we never stop. Visit the Spreaker, iHeartRadio, and TuneIn Radio app. Search NGSC. Guys, have a great Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is this Thursday night. If you're not working, enjoy your time with your family. Even if you are working, I know, Ryan, you're going to have a crazy weekend. If you're working, if you're in retail, whatever, find some time this weekend to spend a little bit of time with your family if you can. Be thankful for them. You know, we can gripe here. We can sit here and complain about how bad the WWE is and how bad things are. But you know what? We're pretty lucky. You know, we can complain about certain things, but life's pretty damn good, man. And spend some time this week. Try and find the happy things. Find the bright things in life. It'll help you out. It'll help out your world. And have a safe one, guys. Enjoy the food. Whether no matter what you're having to eat, be thankful for it. There's plenty of people that will be going hungry this week. So have a great Thanksgiving. We will be live again next Thursday, December the 3rd, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time, ngscsports.com, on the Spreaker player, on the homepage. We will have TJ Mathis will be our guest, and we will see you then, guys. Thank you for listening to this one, and we'll talk to you next time on ngscsports.com, 3 Count Thursday. And as always, go for the pin.